Day.
And I'm Richard Day.
We're both chiropractors.
We've been in practice together for 11 years.
Married for 10.
With 3 beautiful little girls.
We know it's possible to have an exceptional practice that's built around your life.
Because we've done it.
So we've created this podcast,
the Lifestyle Practice Builders Podcast.
We'll interview chiropractors, answer questions, and bring you resources to help build and grow your practice.
So let's get this party started.
Welcome back to the Lifestyle Practice Builders Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Haley Day, and today I sat down with Rachel Ngom. She's host of She's Making an Impact podcast. She's also a business and lead generation expert helping purpose-driven female entrepreneurs drive more traffic, leads, and sales through Pinterest, blogging, and strategic use of automation, all things that all chiropractors can be doing to make an impact in their community and bringing more patients into their office. If you have any questions about building a funnel or marketing your practice, then please reach out to me, Dr. Haley Day, on Instagram or drhaleyday.com, and I would be happy to help you. Also, we do not have any commercials during our podcast. I'm not sure if you noticed that, but we are focused on making an impact in your life and in your practice, and we want to keep you listening to all of the valuable information on the podcast. So all we ask is that you share the podcast with a friend today. So if you can do that, that would mean a whole lot to us, and stay tuned for the rest of my interview with Rachel Ngom and see how you can be utilizing Pinterest to build your practice. Welcome, Rachel, to the show today. I'm so excited to talk to you all about Pinterest.
I am so excited to be here.
So today we're talking about how chiropractors can use the power of Pinterest to bring more patients through the door of their business. So to get us started today, Rachel, were you able to use Pinterest to grow your first business, and now you teach those strategies to others, right?
Yep, exactly.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about your first business that you built using Pinterest and how you used Pinterest to help you build it?
Yeah. So my first business was in the fitness space, and I primarily started off using Facebook and Instagram to build that business. And so I had 50,000 followers on Facebook, 20,000 on Instagram, and life was so good. Back in the day, you could post and get all these comments and make sales. And when the logarithm changed, it stopped working, and I was left scrambling, trying to figure something else out. And so I started a blog and posting content to that blog and putting it up on Pinterest. And I didn't have a real strategy or anything behind it, but I noticed that my traffic was increasing. And then I looked at my Google Analytics and I'm like, holy moly, I have 34,000 people every month coming here from Pinterest. And that's when I was like, I think I've stumbled upon something pretty awesome. And then in 2017, I decided I wanted to it was actually network marketing in the fitness space. And so I started teaching people in network marketing how they could use Pinterest for lead generation. And in 2017, I decided I wanted to do my own thing, really branch out on my own, and saw entrepreneurs were struggling with lead generation. They wanted something that was simple that they could automate. And when I asked them, have you ever thought about using Pinterest? They just looked at me like, you can? Like, is that possible? I'm like, heck yeah. So now we've helped, with our program Pin with Purpose, almost 2,000 students have gone through that program. And it's been awesome to see some of the results they've gotten, like tripling their sales in 60 days.
That is really cool. And so what makes Pinterest so unique and so helpful? How is it different?
It's a visual search engine. Think of it like Google. So on Facebook and Instagram, if you're trying to grow your business there, you have to pattern interrupt people because they're there to connect with friends and family typically. And so you got to stop their pattern in order to actually grab their attention. On Pinterest, pinners are there. First, they're there to shop, and they have a higher average income than non-pinners, and they're there looking for something specific. And so they're using Pinterest as a search engine. And so if you can understand keywords and what your ideal client is searching on the platform, you have the opportunity to show up at the top of Pinterest and solve their problem for them.
Okay. And they're also, if you put a Google search in, Pinterest comes up. Pinterest
exactly.
Answers, right?
Pinterest and Google work together really well too. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so today we're going to talk about your 4-step framework for doubling leads and sales. How do you want to start out with that?
I want to start off by kind of giving you an overview of what Pinterest is like. And so I want you to think of a funnel, and at the top of the funnel is Pinterest. And so Pinterest is going to lead to your blog content. It's really important as a business owner that you are creating content that's adding value. So that's really going to grab that pinner's attention, want them learning more. That content then leads to a freebie where they can get on your email list. And that's really where the magic happens. Like the whole goal, the whole strategy, the whole framework that I'm sharing with you, I want you to have an understanding of we're using Pinterest to build our email list. We're not using Pinterest to go straight for the sale. And that's a big mindset shift that I think people need to have is they think like, I'm going to go for the quick win and just send them to a sales page or a product page or even a lead magnet. When in reality, this is cold traffic that is on Pinterest. And so you got to warm them up a little bit. And that comes through value added content and then getting them on your email list. And then from your email list, that's when you can invite them to work with you and become a paying client. So that's kind of the overview of what everything looks like. And then when it comes to our 4-step strategy to generating leads and sales, step 1 is we attract. And so every social media platform, I still consider Pinterest a social media platform, even though it's more of a search engine than any other platform. But we're still going to talk about how every social media platform is noisy. And it's really important that you stand out by identifying your ideal client and niching down. So you got to niche down so you don't get lost in the noise. And I want you to think, how can you be the go-to expert? How can you be that person that, when someone's searching for it on Pinterest, you are the one that pops up. And so an example in my fitness business, when I was first starting, I was a hot mess all over the place, trying to be all things to all people, all things general health and fitness and wellness and all kinds of stuff. And so when I niched down to keto and intermittent fasting, that's when things really started to take off. Because when people are on Pinterest, again, they're searching for something specific. They're looking for a very specific thing. And when they come to your website, your blog, you want to make sure it's all related to that thing that they were searching for. So when they land on your website, they're like, oh man, this is exactly what I need. Okay. So I want you to think about who's that person you're trying to reach? Who are you trying to serve? And when they're on Pinterest, what are they searching for? So we talk about long tail keywords, which a keyword is just a word. So a long tail keyword would be like a short phrase. And so an example might be, wedding decor ideas or keto breakfast recipes or how to lose baby weight. And those are long tail keywords. And we think about when they're on Pinterest, what are they searching for? So I want you just to pause and think to yourself, who is my person? Who do I really want to serve? And so for your audience, are they helping people specifically with sciatica, lower back pain, scoliosis? And so how could they be that go-to person with that one specific thing instead of just saying, I'm a chiropractor and I can help you with all things health, wellness, all of it. Can you niche down and get really specific and become known as that go-to person, that go-to expert? Okay. Step 2 is we're going to optimize. And so it's really important that you're pinning your content with the right kind of graphics and the right kind of keyword description that works on Pinterest. So remember, Pinterest is a search engine and keywords are everything. So when you go to the platform, you can see the search bar at the very top and you can just start typing in a short phrase to see what Pinterest starts to autofill. And that's what people are actually searching for on the platform. And so with everything that we're doing on Pinterest, when we're uploading a pin, when we're creating boards, we're using long tail keywords and we're being very, very strategic. Okay. Pinterest is a very strategic platform. We're not titling our things cute, like things I love, or stuff that helps, we're being very, very strategic with everything that we're doing. Okay. And so we're pinning our content with the right kind of graphics, the right kind of keyword description, and the right kind of graphics, the graphics that work really well on Pinterest. It's super simple to create them in Canva for free. And so I'm not a graphic designer, so it's really important that you understand if I can do this, you can do this. Absolutely. You can go to canva.com and you want it to make sure you can select the Pinterest template. And so the Pinterest template, it's longer than it is wider. And so it's like a long, skinny image. It's on brand. It has your logo. And the really important thing is it has a bold color and big text. So a test for you is to open up your phone and go to Pinterest and start scrolling and just start to see what gets your attention, what stops your scroll. And just think like, why did that stop my scroll? Why did that get my attention? And create graphics like that. And then when it comes to creating the right kind of keyword description, you got to understand Pinterest is a search engine, but it's also humans that are searching on Pinterest. And so you got to make sure you're not just keyword stuffing, you're actually speaking to a human. And so I have an example here that I'll share with you. If I'm creating a blog post and I'm ranking for the term, how to create an opt-in page. So that's what I'm trying to rank for. And so what I'm going to say in that pin description is want to learn how to create an opt-in page and a freebie that converts. If you want to build an email list, having a freebie that gets your ideal client to take action is key. I've built my email list over 50,000 using the strategies I'm sharing in this post. Repin and grab your free workbook. Let's build your email list and start implementing an email marketing strategy to grow your business. And so you can see in that pin description that I'm being strategic by using keywords, but I'm also speaking to a human and telling them why they need to take action and what they need to do. So I'm telling them, you got to share this, get your free workbook. I'm going to help you build your email list and create an opt-in page that convert Pinterest traffic. And that's going to turn a random Pinterest user into a raving fan and a client. And so your content should be helpful. It should be at least 1,000 words. It should leave your reader wanting to learn more from you, and it should be personalized. You know, I'm a huge believer that marketing shouldn't be just like a big business marketing. There should be a face to it. There should be a name to it, and it should be personal. And so when you're creating your content, always think, how could I add value? And making sure we have a clear call to action for our Pinterest traffic to take as well. And so within each blog post, I want you to think, how can they get on your email list? And so telling them what you want them to do, because when they come from Pinterest, they're not mind readers. If you don't tell them what you want them to do, they're not going to know. And so you want to tell them, make sure you download my free guide, my free workbook, my free thing, and tell them exactly what it is that you want them to do. And then step 4 is convert. So we're using Pinterest to build our email list, and then we're using our email list to market our products and services. So it's really important that you have a free offer on your site where you can capture email addresses. And it's so important as a business that you have an email list that you can communicate with your customers and future customers. So important your business is in your email list, okay? And so you could offer a PDF or a checklist or a video, anything that's going to help your people get a quick win, okay? And so that freebie should be in alignment with the content that's on your blog. So if you're blogging about scoliosis, for example, your freebie could be a cheat sheet or a video series or something that's going to help people get a quick win around that specific topic. Okay. So that's a quick version of my 4-step strategy. And just to recap that, it's attract, optimize, engage, and convert.
Awesome. Those are so many great tips, because I think you can relate those throughout your business. So a lot of the things that we talk about are building relationships. And so by bringing someone to your website and giving them information that helps them, and then getting them to be on your email list and sending them more information that serves and helps them is just so awesome and necessary these days. So, and then also another thing we talk about is niching down, finding that ideal patient that you're trying to serve, and how can you relate to them and give them the information that they're looking for. So thank you. I love that. So we talked about how to use Pinterest. Do you have some things that you can talk about that maybe people do wrong on Pinterest?
They're not consistent. That's a big one. So that's a big thing that I think a lot of business owners struggle with. They They post when they feel like it instead of on an actual schedule. And so it's really important that you're being consistent and you're creating content on a weekly basis. Another mistake is they're creating content, but not using keywords strategically. So again, it's all about strategy. Pinterest is all strategy. So it's really important that you're not creating content for you or things that you like. It's all about how you can serve your ideal person. And then another mistake would be not optimizing your blog for Pinterest traffic. So making sure that you have your freebie in a prominent place and people know what that next step is going to look like, and that your whole website is very niche down and it's very clear on who you serve, how you serve them. And then the other thing would making sure, think about like after Pinterest. And so once they're on your email list, having some kind of a nurture sequence and email sequence there where people can, enter your funnel and become a paying client.
Awesome. As chiropractors, we would be out meeting people. We'd be out networking at events or setting up our own events. And since no one's doing that right now, we should have all the time in the world to research some keywords, write some blogs, get them posted to Pinterest, and create more of energy flow into our office. So, one more question. Chiropractors are typically trying to narrow their audience to a specific geographical area. What recommendations do you have for someone targeting a local audience on Pinterest?
Use your city in your keywords.
Okay. And I also think it would be good that maybe your download on your website, if you are just strictly serving local people, then it could be like the top 10 healthiest things to do in Kansas City, or an ebook that kind of tells them how they can be healthier in your geographical location.
Yeah, you totally could do that.
Yeah. Okay. So do you have a favorite book you can recommend to our audience? Do you have a book that you picked up recently that you enjoyed?
Oh, to help them grow their business, I would say Donald Miller's 2 books, Building a Story Brand and Marketing Made Simple. Those are 2 great books to help you build your business.
Yeah, I haven't read The Marketing Made Simple yet. So.
It's so good. So good. He's
ordering
awesome.
Today. Yes, for sure. And his podcast is great too.
Yeah.
So what's the best business advice you've ever received?
Manage your mind. And as your business grows, you're going to have more problems, but think about them as quality problems. So you want to have better quality problems as you grow.
Yes, I understand that. And how can people connect with you? Tell us all about you. Where can we find more information? Where can we see your website and see how you're doing all of this so that we can kind of implement the ways that we see you utilizing Pinterest?
Yeah. So if you want to connect on our podcast, we have the She's Making an Impact podcast, she'smakinganimpact.com. And then if you want to grab my 10 strategies to using Pinterest, I have a little PDF download that you can grab, and just go to pinwithrachel.com to grab that.
Well, thank you so much, Rachel. I loved talking with you, and I appreciate you coming to share your Pinterest tips with our audience.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
If you enjoyed this podcast episode, please share it with your friends on Instagram and Facebook. And for those of you who are already subscribers, we really appreciate it. Thanks for the reviews. We love reading those and knowing that you're loving the podcast. If you're looking for more tips and inspiration, be sure to check us out at lifestylepracticebuilders.com or join our business and marketing Facebook group for chiropractors at facebook.com/group/lifestylepractice.